Ah, there you are. And just in time.
Gee willikers, it's polka time! Hang on!
Body probe Bravo 229er has been rolled to the loading area in bay number 2.
I have the great honor of introducing the one, the only
WDW Radio, your information station.
Hello, my friend, and welcome to the WDW Radio Show, your guide to the Disney parks, experiences, and more. I am your host, Lou Mangello, and this is show number 806. And since 2004, we've been sharing Disney magic here through the podcast, my weekly live video show every Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, blog, events, newsletter, and more. You can join the community and find everything at WDWRadio.com. And are you hungry for a hidden food gem in Walt Disney World? This week, we're diving into Cookes of Dublin in Disney Springs. From iconic fish and chips to mouthwatering desserts and secret happy hour deals, we're going to uncover why this overlooked spot might just be Disney's best kept dining secret. It is a quick service dining experience that is going to surprise and satisfy and might just be the best value on property. And there's not going to be a Disney trivia question of the week this week because I'm recording this show early in the week because I'm leaving for New York Comic-Con and then our WDW Radio group cruise on the Disney Magic right after. So you have an extra week to listen to and answer last week's trivia question. And speaking of Comic-Con and all of the amazing food that New York City is going to have to offer, please make sure you follow along with me. I'm going to be sharing a lot on my Instagram stories and reels over at Lou Mangello. Same thing for our cruise on the Disney Magic, Monday, October 21st through Saturday, October 26th. And I will try and go live on our regular Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern schedule on YouTube and Facebook. And again, if I get a chance, other times during the cruise. So make sure that you like the WDW Radio page on Facebook and turn on notifications and or like the YouTube channel at youtube.com/WDW Radio. Hit the bell and turn on notifications there as well. And if you'd like to join me on an upcoming event, cruise, Adventures by Disney, we have a lot planned for 2025, including our sailing on the Disney Treasure in February, our Adventures by Disney to Japan. We have one room left in May, our Adventures by Disney to Disneyland in Southern California in July, and our Adventures by Disney River Cruise on the Seine, and optional pre-stay in Paris and post-stay at Disneyland Paris. Plus, of course, there are our regular Meet of the Month in Walt Disney World and other special events like our Tip Top Club event. And to learn more about any or all these, visit the events page at WDWRadio.com. And the best way to make sure you don't miss a thing is to sign up for my free weekly email newsletter and updates. It's a simple, non-spammy, conversational email that I send to you every Wednesday, but there is no algorithm. There's nothing else to do other than just look for it in your inbox, and you can sign up right on the homepage of WDWRadio.com. And please also visit LouMangello.com if you are looking for a speaker for your event, conference, or business, or if you're a creator or solopreneur ready to take your passion and turn it into your profession. You can find out some of the different ways we can work together. You can download my free Mindset Mastery Guide and my $7 5-day email blueprint for solopreneur success course. And of course, if you ever have any questions or if there's anything I can do to help you out, please reach out to me directly and you can email me lou@wdwradio.com. But for now, please pull up a chair with us over at Cookes of Dublin. And if you like what you hear, please share this episode and tell a friend. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's episode of the WDW Radio Show. I have believed and shared for years that when you think about dining in Walt Disney World, it's not only just about not being hamburgers and hot dogs and chicken tenders, all of which are amazing in their own right, but Walt Disney World has some of the best dining experiences that I've had anywhere, theme park, resort, or otherwise. And I think there are a lot of locations that get a lot of attention and in turn a lot of ADRs for table service restaurants. But I also think that there are so many overlooked dining experiences that don't necessarily require a reservation or 6 months of advanced planning. As some of my favorite places to eat on property are places that you can just walk up to without a reservation and offer true overlooked experiences that you need to add to your next trip. And one of those places I admittedly haven't been to in probably more than a decade. And I was recently at Raglan Road and was reminded about the fact that as part of Raglan Road, around the corner, is Cookes of Dublin. It is it's sort of held out as the finest fish and chips, established, nearly 100 years ago, but it is actually much more than that. And I think, we're going to find out today, really does qualify as one of the hidden, overlooked treasures hiding in plain sight. So I want to invite you to join me, bring your stretchy pants, to join me at the table outside of Cookes of Dublin for my first live dining review. And I cannot do this alone. I not only need you, but I need others, because if I ordered as many things on the menu as I want to, I would get a lot more funny looks than I do normally. So I want to welcome back to the show two friends, fellow foodies. It is Lisa Donono-Glassner from thecastlerun.com and thousandcircles.com.
Cannot wait to dig into this menu. Everything looks amazing.
And Kenneth Johnson, who still does not have a website or social media. You may be the smartest person here by not doing so. Kenneth, welcome back.
Thanks, Lou. I'm just so happy to be with you guys and can't wait to see what we're in store for here.
Well, and I had to give to the two of you, I had to write out directions on MapQuest to find it, because when we were talking about this, when we talk about this being an overlooked experience, we're all locals, and this is not some place that has been on our radar. So first, have either of you ever been here before?
So I was here, I think, once, but years ago, because you kind of bypass this. If you go the boathouse route, you walk, you miss it completely. And if you walk by even this area, it's very easy for it to blend into Raglan and their bar next door. It almost looks like a part of the same space.
Right, so it's located in between Paddlefish and Morimoto, but sort of on the backside. I think the main thoroughfare by the water and Boathouse and Jock Lindsay's is definitely the busier of the two ways, but in this sort of almost little quiet alleyway behind, attached to Raglan Road and the hole-in-the-wall bar, is Cookes of Dublin. Kenneth, what about you?
I have never been here before, and in fact, when you invited me, I kind of thought it might be part of Raglan or near Raglan because of the Irish theme and the name Dublin, but I did have to look it up.
And I think that's it's a big part of the reason why I'm here. One, because I wanted to try it again, and two, because I do like trying to find some of the out-of-the-way or overlooked places. And look, I am a huge fan of counter-service restaurants. I would take a counter-service location over a super formal, fancy restaurant any day, especially a place like this where you can order 17 or so different items off the menu and share amongst friends. I think we all are sort of huge fans of the options here in Disney Springs, not just places like a Boathouse or Morimoto where you can sit down, but even some of the other quick service locations. We recently did a live dining review at Eat, and some of these other quick service places that have incredible options on their menu as well.
Yeah, I think quick service is one of the best kept secrets at all of Disney, because people think that they need to be planning 6 months in advance all their dining reviews, when you can have some really, really top tier culinary experiences, both in the parks and resorts and at Disney Springs, all quick service, whether you're at Satuli Canteen at Animal Kingdom or the Mara at Animal Kingdom Lodge or someplace like this or Polite Pig. I think some of the best dining experiences in any of the parks or springs or the resorts are at some of the quick service locations.
Oh, that's absolutely true. And before I moved here and we were bringing our young children here on vacation from parts unknown, and we would plan ahead and get the ADRs, and sometimes my kids and my family just they weren't feeling it that night, or it just didn't feel, like the right night to go wait, 15 or 20 minutes on it and then spend a lot of time at a table. And what has really sort of dawned on me since I've been a local is just the high quality of counter service options, especially here at Disney Springs. And I can't wait to see, the food here, because I know the other experiences here at Disney Springs. And so I'm really looking forward to discovering another quick service option.
When I say overlooked, I mean it literally and figuratively. I think you can walk right by Cookes of Dublin and sort of just assume, well, it's part of Raglan Road. This is just either another seating area, or there is the hole-in-the-wall bar outside. You're well, maybe this is just an indoor seating area. Or just by virtue of the name, it's just a fish and chips place, that just must be the thing that they have. And before we got here, I was like, oh, let me sort of see what the menu is like. The menu here is huge, and it's diverse, and I'm curious to see and taste how it is going to deliver on what looks to be sort of a very promising experience where there may be a little something for everyone. Because as I went through the menu, I started smiling as sort of certain words and certain food items were jumping out at me initially.
Absolutely. And the other thing I'm noticing about this venue is there's a bar right next door, and it looks like you can definitely just walk over there, get a drink, come and sit down here. So that adds another dimension to this place as opposed to other quick service outlets. And
vice versa. You can grab your food from here, all right, because get it to go, and then just bring it next door and just sit outside. And what's nice too is if you're here with your family, they can go around the corner and they can go to the Lego store and go shopping. You can sort of have a nice sort of adult evening, although obviously it's a lot of family friendly. There's a kids menu here as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're sort of on a quieter thoroughfare here with some space in front of us. So if you were here with your kids, there's plenty of space for them to kind of blow off steam without huge crowds of people around you. I know there's like a happy hour next door where you could grab some drinks for a whole lot less money than probably elsewhere on property. And I know, there's other places on property we can get like a good burger. You can get like a good fish and chips. So I'm curious to see how they'll compare here.
Yeah, and it just dawned on me while you were saying that, we are sort of centrally located for this section of Disney Springs, and if the kids did want to run off on a quick mission to the Lego store, there's a lot around here where the parents could just stay, continue having a drink, and the kids could come back, and it's just sort of a nice quiet place for the parents to maybe take a load off their feet and have a rest, and a good sort of central location.
Yeah, and as we're sitting here getting ready to experience a lot of what this menu has to offer, I think for a lot of us, I come to Springs more than I go to the parks. And as I start to think, how many different places here I love both table service and counter service. If I was to do a top 10 or a top 5 dining locations in Springs, would this make the list? And if so, where? Time and our tummies will tell. I'm very excited for today because at the very least I know the fish and chips is going to be great based on what we have tasted inside Raglan Road. They obviously share the same kitchen. So to learn more about this and the dining experience as well. So I hope you brought, clearly you've brought your stretchy pants and are prepared for a beautiful afternoon at Cookes.
Okay, so what you have is the hog in the box with sage stuffing, crispy potatoes, caramelized onions, and our pork butt, served with a chicken au jus and a buffalo applesauce.
That looks and smells amazing.
It is amazing. And it's got like Thanksgiving stuffing on the side, so yeah.
And that's a nice portion size too.
Yeah, it's very.
You're beaming. You're grinning ear to ear.
They started off with the good stuff, man. The pulled pork. I'm so down for this. I can't wait. I was eyeing this on the menu while we were waiting.
Kenneth and I met many, many years ago, and we wouldn't have remained friends. And he's like, wait a minute, I can get in on some of these live dining reviews? Yeah, I'll put up one Mongello so I can have some of this.
Absolutely.
Kenneth is looking at it like so lovingly. Because you're a man, you like good meat. We did the Polite Pig years ago. You ordered the butcher board for 4 and you ate it by yourself.
Pretty much, yeah. So yes, I am a meat eater, and I am just really looking forward to this.
You're looking at Lisa's portion too.
I'm just seeing whose is bigger.
I don't think anybody's going to leave here hungry. This is a lot of food, a lot of food. It's a cute name. I like the hog in a box name. So we've got applesauce, stuffing, pulled pork, caramelized onions, and skin-on potatoes.
Okay, now are we taking pictures before we dive in? Or
I already got some pictures.
All right.
You two are both, so they brought out 2 portions. You're hovering over it like you're in prison, like you're afraid somebody's going to touch your food. I'll let you guys sample first. Go ahead.
Well, sample I don't know about, but I don't know if you're getting any, but...
Yeah, I'd get your fork unwrapped fast if I were you.
Wait, there's more. Solomon's back already with additional items.
We have our Atlantic cod fish and chips.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
This is so good.
That is really
Look
good.
at the size of
I'm going to try
these.
the stuffing here. The pork is amazing. And they describe it as caramelized, and that's really a good...
Mind you, I haven't even unwrapped my fork yet, and the two of you are
I don't know what's going on with Mangello. He's slipping over here, but I'm happy he's slipping because that's more for me.
This reminds me. I almost want you. I don't want to tell you what it reminds me of. Tell me what this reminds you of. The hog in a box.
Oh my gosh, look at this. And it's fork tender, like it just pulls apart with a fork.
And those potatoes are amazing too. The skin-on fried potatoes.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
What does it remind you
Wait.
of? What does it remind you
I've tasted this before. You're right. Wait, let me try it again. Oh, look at that. I like the little burnt pieces.
It reminds me of when we were on the Danube cruise and we were street walking with that plate of food and it had all the like meat and stuff on
Oh, that was a good time.
it. That's what this reminds me
This is so, and this is like, this is like perfect fall food too. Like it's so, like it warms you from. Let me try a little bit of the stuffing.
So you know the old meme with the guy walking down the street with his girlfriend and he's turning back looking at her? This fish and chips is what's going on. That I've already moved on. This fish and chips has an amazing batter. And I used to live in the UK.
So you know a good fish and chip.
Yeah.
So I want to see you say that, and yet you're putting that in your mouth with nothing on it. Why are you not even putting the
malt vinegar? I know that that's blasphemous, but
so you do. First of all, this piece of fish is the size of a surfboard. It's not like little fish strips or fish tenders or like Gordon's fish sticks from like your TV dinner. This is like a massive. It's like the size of a shoe. Like that's how big the piece of fish is. And listen, if French fries were a health food, I would be an Adonis. I love these type of like big steak fries.
These are absolutely chips. These are not like, like you were saying, French fries. These are true. These are thick kind of steak fries, what you would call real chips.
So it comes with tartar sauce, and I love the fact that they're adding extra salt, man. This is why you and I are friends. Now, how do you do your fish? How do you do your fish and chips?
So I do like the malt vinegar. I like lemon. I like a little bit of everything. I haven't had this yet, but can I just say this is the first cool day that we've had, and I'm so, so happy because eating this meal in like 69, 70 degree weather is so perfect.
So why don't you slice this one in half? You do half.
You don't want lemon?
Well, that's fine. But I'm a malt vinegar kind of guy, so. Kenneth's not even letting me like get my fork near the other piece of fish. I'll try it with just.
You can put malt vinegar on it.
No, it's fine. We'll try just lemon. Because it is about.
Can I vinegar it up? Can I hit it? Mm-hmm. I'm going to hit it with vinegar. Is it good?
Oh, God, yeah.
All right, here we go.
You could add more. Don't be shy.
All right, it's coming.
Get them on the chips, too. Not my pants. It's a very aggressive shake.
I just love this batter because it's like a thick, slightly chewy and crispy at the same time. I don't know how to describe that.
But what's nice, it's not. You get sometimes pieces of fried fish and it's all batter, right? And it's just all batter. It's not a lot of fish. This is like a very thick, but moist and flaky piece of fish. And you're right, I like a nice fry on it, but the fry is also very thin too, so it doesn't overtake the flavor of the fish itself.
It has the best texture. The fry is like nice and crisp, but doesn't overtake it like you said. It's light. If you can believe it, it's light. The malt vinegar is really good and the tartar is delicious. I'm going to let you.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of everything that I'm seeing right now. This is so good.
Remember the pork from like 5 minutes ago?
Yeah, that was.
I want to go back because I never even got any of. I didn't get to try any of the onions or. Again, I love a good potato. Oh, look at that!
Yeah, and that stuffing, I would not have expected to see stuffing on this, but I hear they do a Thanksgiving dinner here.
And this year, nice segue. This year, the entire Thanksgiving menu over at Raglan Road is completely gluten-free. So I think, it's funny because when you think of celebrating Thanksgiving in Walt, I get this question all the time, like, where do you recommend going for Thanksgiving dinner? I think there's a lot of places like a Raglan Road that might get overlooked. But instead, they do have a full Thanksgiving menu, and I like the fact that this year it's completely gluten-free, because I've had some of the other gluten-free items on the menu, and you would never know. Like some of the plant-based items and some of the gluten-free items you would never know, like, are not, full of meat and or gluten. Lisa hasn't stopped eating
the shepherd's pie here is also gluten-free, I'm told. But yeah, before you invited me today, Lou, I actually did not know this was back here. Of course, I knew about Raglan Road, but I had never. As I walked by here, I just sort of assumed this was, the outside wall of Raglan Road, and never really noticed this was here.
So it's a big reason why we're here, because I think sort of where the entrance isn't sort of this side. It's sort of almost like a secondary walkway to where everybody sort of walks in front of Jocks and Boathouse. So it's a less utilized walkway. And I think you're right. I think people see this and figure it is just sort of a side facade of Raglan Road. Or if you see the hole-in-the-wall bar next door, you figure, well, this just must be part of the bar. You'd be surprised how many people, like many of us, have never even considered this because they just didn't even know that there was food here.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are some better, like, more well-known kind of quick service hang-ons to restaurants here. Like Morimoto has the outdoor location, and there's, like the street food at Morimoto. But this, I think, like you said, because Hole in the Wall and the bar outdoor space of Raglan is sort of catty-corner to this, you kind of see it and think that it's just an extension. But they do have their own menu, and, like, what a hidden gem on a night when you're in a little bit of a hurry, don't have a dinner reservation, but still want a really good meal, especially on a cool night.
And I think that's the key, right? Not having people, you come here, you worry about not having an ADR, especially during the busier times of year. And sometimes even the counter service locations or the quick service locations have really long lines. Like, I never see a line here. And you're right. Like, look at the size of the portions. More importantly, it's the quality of the food. We've only had 2 things so far. But the quality of the food is equal to what you would find inside, because obviously they share the kitchen too.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking, and I'll let Kenneth get on with his Polite Pig comparison because it's his, and I want him to be able to own it. But we were talking about Polite Pig before we started recording, and I love Polite Pig. It's a phenomenal location. But first of all, the line out there can get to be pretty crazy. As you're coming down, like, the line garage, you can see that long line building up, and you're not going to get that over here. And I do love Polite Pig, so this is no shame in any direction, but I would put this pulled pork up against anything I've gotten at Polite Pig any day.
Absolutely. And it's a little different flavor profile with the caramelized sauce and the stuffing. So
I love the sweetness. There's just a hint of the sweetness on the pork, which is really nice. And
the potatoes are.
I love these big sort of slices of, like, borderline caramelized onions, which are just so nice in terms of not just texture but flavor. I love onions, and I can eat caramelized onions, like, right out of the pan.
Yeah, I think, having this as sort of a well-kept secret that is also has a full bar, similar to Polite Pig, you've just got so many options here.
Like, this almost feels, and look at how nice it is. Like, we're sitting outside. It almost feels like a table service restaurant, again, because of the quality of the food. And there's a huge, it's like for a counter service location, there's a huge menu. Like, there's a ton of items on the menu. So if I just want to quickly go through, because we're sort of just sampling things as they come out and some of the new seasonal items. There is the fish and chips. There's also a huge seafood combo box. There's chicken tenders and chips. So maybe if you're not a fish person, there's a grilled chicken sandwich, chicken salad, fried shrimp and chips, a fried chicken sandwich, the barbecue pulled pork grilled cheese sandwich. Hello. A slow braised beef grilled cheese sandwich, the hog in the box, the sweet and spicy loaded chips, a whiskey barbecue burger, and a Dubliner burger. And all of these items, save for the seafood combo box, are just around $15, which is a great value too for your money. So everything that we've been eating is around $15 other than the seafood combo box. So this is a lot of food, especially comparatively to some of the other restaurants, in terms of how much you get and the quality you get too.
Yeah. As my grandfather said, if you eat this caramelized pork, it'll make you bear down when you walk. There's a lot. I
don't know
here.
what that means, but I'm afraid.
It's heavy. It's good.
But this is that's a shareable portion.
Yeah, you're not
for like a normal human. That's
not going to leave hungry, for sure. For $15 at Disney Springs, that may be the best value for money at Disney Springs.
So I just tried the applesauce that this came with for the first time. There's like a little lidded applesauce container that comes with the hog in a box. It's almost like a chutney in its like richness and flavor, and it has a little bit of heat, which is a really nice balance against everything else that's in here. It's a little bit of spicy and a little bit of
wait a minute.
chutney.
Do I dip the meat in? First of all, I love applesauce. I'm like a 5-year-old. Like I literally buy jars of applesauce and eat it out of the jar.
Yeah.
It's like a chutney.
That's really nice. It's very Thanksgiving, actually. There's your cranberries.
So you get the pork, the onions, the potatoes, the stuffing, and the apple chutney in a huge portion, table service for $15.
I mean, for a lunch especially, like 2 people could share this. I mean, not us probably, but 2 normal people.
Kenneth doesn't necessarily share. He's not. That's why they brought us 2 of everything. You and I are sharing, and Kenneth ate that whole piece of fish all by himself. I'm not judging. I'm so proud of you.
Salting individual fries.
Yeah, this is really nice.
So yeah, this is like the perfect fall meal. Like the pulled pork is the perfect consistency. The potatoes are like roasted to the point where like the skin is crispy on the outside, which is the perfect way I like it. Obviously the stuffing is great, and like the thick cut, just barely caramelized onions. Yeah, this is fantastic. And that fish and chips, like, yeah, the UK Pavilion has nothing on that.
I just was going to say the same thing. Like, if I had a choice of this, it's this all day long.
It's this. And I do like the fish and chips that you can get over at Rose and Crown or outside Rose and Crown, but this is the Yorkshire, whatever. Mm-hmm. But this is the consistency of it, like the fry layer on the outside, the breading on the outside is thinner and crispier, I think, here than you'll get over at the Yorkshire.
Like, it's just a nice, big piece of fish.
I agree. I think this is the best fish and chips on property.
And it doesn't... Wow.
I like it.
Look at Kenneth. Yeah.
I really like it.
He's looking at it so lovingly, like, because now he's done with his. He's looking to see why we still have fish left in ours.
Slowed down over here.
Yeah, but there's still more coming, so let's not... I know, because I want to finish all of the potatoes, but I won't.
Professional, I can do.
You know what else is nice, too? We could just box these up and take them home, too.
That's true.
Solomon.
Did you guys want me to remove anything to make some more space?
Or just why don't you just slide over a second table and we'll just make a little buffet. No, I'm only kidding. No, I'm only kidding. Kenneth is looking, he's like, don't take anything away, but yeah, maybe we'll just close these up and, save them for...
We're trying to pace ourselves, but we're very tempted to join the...
It's so good, like trying... Yeah.
They come in a to-go box. Yeah. So all you have to do is just close them up. It's great.
This is so nice.
What you have here is going to be the sweet and spicy loaded chips. It's going to be our nice fresh hand-cut chips along with a bang bang chicken in a special 5 spice blend topped off with a sweet and spicy bang bang sauce.
Bang bang. Giddy up. Let's go.
Wow. Okay, so I'm going to share photos of all these on my Instagram and in the Clubhouse and on the show notes over at WDW Radio.com. So when I saw on the menu the load of, this is not what I was expecting. First of all, it is a small, it's like a canoe size portion of chips with the chicken and the peppers on top. Like, it looks, you can smell it. Like, you could. Kenneth hasn't taken his eye. It's like Kenneth has fallen in love for the first time. This is what it looks like. He's like, shut up, Angelo. I just want to eat.
No peanuts in here because I am dying to eat this.
So we're going to find out. We're going to find out pretty quickly.
I'm going to let you guys eat it first.
All right, I'm going to dig right down.
That good?
You are somebody who likes a little bit of heat with your food, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
I think you're going to dig this.
And just to clarify, chips is like English chips. So it's fries. It's not, because I was almost picturing something like what you get at like Polly at Captain Jack's when they do the pulled pork nachos with like a kettle chip. But this is fries, like covered in like chunks of fried chicken and sauce and onions and peppers. Yeah, this is.
And, a lot of times when you see this and you see like a piece of fried chicken, it's like the fish. I sometimes get concerned that it's 80% batter and like 2% chicken. This is the same thing. It's that super thin, light, deep fry, but it's not heavy or oily. Like this is all tender chicken. It's not all batter.
Absolutely. This is like your disco fries, right? With some bang bang sauce and fried chicken added in.
And this is not what I didn't picture something like this coming out of the quote unquote Irish restaurant. No. So it's a really nice sort of different flavor profile than what you would expect.
Yeah, it's much, it's not a light dish by any stretch of the imagination, but it looks like it's going to be like a heavy fry type dish, and it's not at all. It's hearty, but it's not heavy. And like you said, the batter on the chicken is not too heavy at all.
Oh, they must have heard me, because look at these giant slices of like just lightly caramelized onion too.
I love the green peppers in it. It's really, really good.
Now, we cannot enjoy some of the flavors of Ireland without having a little bit of flavor of Ireland to wash them down with. And fortunately, we have someone who, I'm going to guess just based on the accent, is the authority. Not just because South Carolina. Close. Not just because she is the general manager here at Cookes of Dublin, but she is from Ireland. And Raglan Road. Rachel, welcome.
Yes, thank you. Thank you guys for coming in.
No, thank you for having us on what has right now become the best day ever. This is, I haven't been to Cookes in ages. They haven't been here before. I think so many folks don't even realize. We were just talking about it. So many people just walk by and don't realize not just the fact that there's the hole-in-the-wall bar next door, but that there is this full, huge, delicious menu outside as well.
Perfect, yes. So Cookes of Dublin, obviously a quick service restaurant, was founded originally in 1934 in Dublin. So there's an original Cookes of Dublin base in 1934. It was opened up by our owner's grandfather, Mr. George Cook, who then passed it down to his father and then passed it down to John again. So John then has brought his name over to Orlando, as you can see here, right outside, and big flashing lights. So great history based off a traditional fish and chip shop back in Ireland.
Which, like Raglan Road too, like there's so much, not just history in the location, but history in, the bar and the things that came over from Ireland.
Yes, very authentic. We say everything, all the bars, you'll see we have two bars inside our Raglan bar and Paddy's bar. All the wood, all the finishings were made in Ireland, shipped over and then put all together here, which is really cool. We just recently added some refurbishments to our retail store, Shop for Ireland. So if you go in and have a look, all the furniture and all the wood was all brought over, and the guys from Ireland put it together here, which is really unique and really cool. So they keep with the real authentic Irish pub feel inside.
I love it. Again, we've been so wonderfully, pleasantly surprised. We have smiles on our faces of the items that we've tried so far. But in addition to the food that you can order from the quick service here at Cookes, right next door is the hole-in-the-wall bar, which is a full bar. So you can eat here, but go next door, grab a drink and bring it over, or vice versa.
Yep, so you have the full menu available from the Raglan restaurant also. You can obviously order from Cookes.
Whoa, wait, slow down a second. You just said you can sit outside at Hole in the Wall and get the full menu from Raglan Road?
Can indeed, yes. You have both options. So if you're looking for a quick bite and you don't want to wait around for too long, obviously come in here to Cookes, grab your number, I'm going to serve you guys there. But if you want to sit down and take your time and have a 3-course meal with our full menu from Raglan, you can also do that at Hole in the Wall bar too.
So just so I'm clear, I could just walk up, so if Raglan Road is full, I could just walk up to Cookes and...
Yep.
I almost don't want to share that. That's the secret way to sort of...
Secret way, yeah, for sure. We also do our happy hour, which is what you guys are having a little taste of here now. So our happy hour is Monday to Friday, 11 to 11.
I think every hour at Raglan is happy hour.
Before we brought in the happy hour, we said every hour is happy hour at Raglan, yes. But you've got some really nice, these are probably the 3 most popular in front of us here. So our Bailey's shake, again, what's not to love, some Bailey's chocolate, coffee. Very popular, especially in the summer days, nice and refreshing. And you have our rosemary maple whiskey sour. Again, so the rosemary, we make an in-house syrup. This is really good with the maple syrup. It's just a nice contrast. And then you have your very light and refreshing blueberry mint lemonade in front of yourself there. So.
And am I correct in saying that these items during happy hour are only $10?
Yes, you are correct. It's a steal.
This is made with Tennessee whiskey, Dixel 12. That's a surprise. I thought it was going to be Irish, but
it's got all the Irish, all the rest of it's Irish.
I can't wait to taste it.
I think for $10 for each of these, you should call it the very happy hour at Cookes and Hole in the Wall.
That is really good. That is fantastic. So it's
I don't think I've known Kenneth. I don't think I've ever seen Kenneth this happy before, and we eat a lot of different places together.
I'm about to get happier if you leave this in front of me. So this has crushed rosemary, dark maple syrup, Lee's foam, and lemon sour, and it is delicious.
We're obviously not going to be able to sample any of this, but there's the blueberry lemonade and the Bailey's shake.
Ooh. So I am not the best with a strong drink, and this is dangerous because this is the rosemary maple whiskey sour. That's really, really nice. That's very smooth.
Oh.
Yeah, that's really
Because I think people hear whiskey and are like, I'm not a whiskey person.
Yeah.
But you're right, there's a little bit of sweetness, and you don't get that sort of burn in the back. Wow, that's super smooth. There's no
whiskey person. I usually drink my whiskey neat, and I don't even know what mixers are, but that is good. I really enjoy that. Yeah.
And I'm not a big drinker, but I can see myself sipping, because that's also a really nice compliment to your food as well.
Yeah, again, it's a very nice fall drink. Like, I could enjoy that easily. It almost, it has that, like, comforting, like, scotch that reminds me of my dad, kind of.
By the way, drink responsibly, and you can get an Uber right here at Disney Springs.
Yes.
Take a sip of, and I know the blueberry lemonade is probably, when I know people that come here, is maybe like the most popular with the blueberry vodka, the mint, and lemonade. One sip, Lisa. Not. She don't. She's chugging at this point.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't poisonous for everyone else. No, that's.
You're a giver.
If there's alcohol in this, it's news to me because that is a nice drink.
Is that mint?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mint,
Lady's choice.
Yeah, it just there's no alcohol there. You better be careful.
Yeah, that's now I see why it's popular, because again, as somebody who's not I'm not a big drinker, especially in the summertime, sitting outside here, oof, that's nice. Take a sip of that Bailey's shake while we're here, because I do like a nice coffee liqueur. Like, that might be a nice sort of finish to a meal as well. Rachel's offering us a straw. Kenneth's like, no, I'm just going to chug. I'm good right out of...
That's really nice. I got a lot of the, is that ice cream on the top? That's delicious. We're having dessert already.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a milkshake. It's delicious. It's delicious. Yeah, so we have sort of our summer drink, our fall drink, and I don't know if the frozen one's the winter drink.
The dessert, it's the dessert drink.
Yeah, the dessert for sure.
Yeah, this is these are really nice compliments to the food, of which Rachel, did she bring over more? Are you bringing over more food? Come on, well, far be it for me to say no.
I'll leave you alone after this.
Irish, no, please don't ever leave us alone.
This is one of our newer additions, so it's a combo box. So we have our our battered shrimp, a mini Atlantic cod, and then chips with some fresh tartar and cocktail sauce as well. So this is a very popular one. If you're not sure what to have and you want a bit of both, there you go.
Oh, goody, more fish.
That's nice. Like, I'm all about like the little mini buffets, and I like to sort of sample as I go around.
So this is shrimp with the same batter that is on the fish, and I can't wait to try it.
Go ahead. You guys dig in first. Now, how do you do your shrimp? Do you do it like au naturel? Are you a cocktail sauce or a tartar sauce or just lemon?
I'm a ketchup guy. I know that's not.
The chef just rolled his eyes. No.
They're going to kick me out of here.
I mean, I kind of want to just try it on its own since the batter was so nice. Maybe a little bit of tartar. I don't know. I'll try a little bit of everything.
Kenneth, at this point, why don't you just take the lid off the salt shaker and just start dipping here?
It's almost seasoned like a shrimp scampi kind of dish. It's like the shrimp is sort of garlicky and seasoned like it would be in a dish, and then it's just battered and fried.
I was going to say, it tastes like there's already something on here in terms of
It's like garlic
seasoning, different than the fish, right? The fish is just sort of plain.
Yeah, it almost has an Asian flavor profile. It's really good. I think I've been over to the boat a couple of times. What's it called again? I forgot. I'm getting old, but it used to be the
How much of it? Kenneth drank the whole whiskey. You mean paddlefish or the boathouse?
Lily. I still call it the Empress Lily, but paddlefish. And I think the shrimp here are much better.
That shrimp is really, really good. It almost tastes like it's seasoned like a shrimp scampi. It's like garlicky and buttery, and then it's got that light, crispy breading on it, and it's fried in that. But
it almost doesn't taste like it's fried. It almost tastes like, because the fry is so, again, I keep sort of repeating myself, but so many times you order fried food and it's just heavy and it's oily, and all you taste is the fried batter. This almost tastes like it's baked because the batter is so thin, but adds a nice little bit of texture from the crispiness.
Well, I'm usually afraid to order fried shrimp unless I know the place, because a lot of times restaurants will have pre-breaded fried shrimp that come frozen. That's not what this is. This is a really fresh shrimp with a nice, the same batter that's on the fish, which is really, really good.
Yeah, so you get 4 or 5 pieces of, and the shrimp are big too. I mean, they're not like little tiny baby shrimp. They're maybe a little bit larger than sort of $half size in diameter. And you get a nice piece of fish as well, and then the basket full of chips.
Yeah, no, I don't think it needs any of the sauce. I'm sure the sauces are delicious, but it certainly doesn't need it. That's a really, really nice option. That's one of my favorites for sure so far.
I almost wouldn't have thought to order it, but now I'm like, oh, maybe this is what I would come and get, because I get my little sort of sampler platters of food there.
So all 4 of these things have come in a basket, but they are huge. I mean, if you pick them up, honestly, that is like 2 or 3 pounds of food there. And what did you say? It was $15?
I think the basket is 20. I think the combo is 21, right? Everything else is around or under 15.
I mean, compared to the other prices here at Disney Springs, that is an amazing deal. I mean, you could feed a family with that almost.
I mean, I think if you had a family of 4, like,
small kids
and kids and stuff, you can get 2 items and easily share it between everyone.
Yeah, it's all super kid friendly, and I was going to say that too. Like everything that's come out so far, first of all, it's like portions that could serve 2 or 3 people depending on who you are, but it's also very like noshable, shareable. So if you didn't know what you wanted necessarily, everybody could kind of pick a thing, and you could just sit here outside and share everything amongst yourselves. It's not like you're getting a dish that you feel like it's difficult to parse out.
I mean, the blueberry and lemonade is not kid-friendly. They're mom and dad friendly, but not kid-friendly. And the other thing we should mention, too, we keep talking about this as a counter service location, and it really isn't, because, like you mentioned Polite Pig, you place your order and you sit down and you get a table number, and then the food is actually brought out to you. So you're not sort of standing there like, fast food waiting for something that's getting made very quickly. Everything is made to order and then brought out to you by a server, which is nice, too. It's sort of that hybrid of quick service and table service together.
Yeah, and this is a really relaxing location. Right across from us is just a little garden area, and this is not a very heavily trafficked thoroughfare here. In fact, as I said, I didn't know this was even here. And so if I were here all day with kids in tow, I think for an economical option, I would come here, have this whiskey sour while my kids continue to make noise, and I would just zone out. And then when I come around, I would have either the pulled pork or the fish and chips. It's an amazing deal.
I think you get a day or an evening like this where it's nice to sit outside, because it is not a very busy thoroughfare. The other thing too, there's no loud music. Like it's quiet here. Even if there is live entertainment over at the waterfront stage, or there's a band, there's nothing sort of really loud here. It's very sort of peaceful and serene.
Yeah, it's very peaceful. Just to kind of locate you if you don't necessarily know where we are, it's kind of the front of Raglan Road that you can walk in front of instead of going around the bend in front of Boathouse. But we're kind of facing paddlefish and like some greenery. So there is a stage I know near Boathouse where in the evening sometimes they'll have some music, and you would probably get like a little piece of that, like for ambiance if you were sitting over here. But like Lewin kind of said, it's not you're not like on top of that music or in that area like directly in front of Boathouse that tends to get a little bit more crowded.
Yeah, it's a nice little sort of serene escape back here, which I really like, because sometimes, especially outside, those are a little bit tougher to find. And Kenneth, don't worry, the Lego store is right around the corner. Just give your kids a credit card, they'll be fine. You just...
Yeah, but honestly, I can't think of a better quick service option here. I really can't.
Yeah, this is a hidden gem. Like I said, I haven't been here it's probably been 10 years, so I'm as guilty of it as well. Like, I know it's here, but it never sort of becomes top of mind, and I think that might change after today. All right, my new best friend Solomon is back, because we were just in between recording. We were looking at the menu, saying, there really is something for everybody, right? If you're not a fish person, this is not quote unquote just fish and chips. There's chicken and there's burgers as well. Solomon says it's as if you heard our conversation because you brought out one of the burgers on the menu.
Yes, I brought out the Dubliner cheeseburger. It's going to be topped with a tomato chutney, garlic mayo, a spring mix, and then one of our lovely patties topped with Dubliner cheddar cheese.
Okay, so what makes it a Dubliner cheddar cheese?
It's a nice sharp cheddar that's something similar to what they use in Ireland.
Kenneth is very excited.
I've never had a burger I didn't like. Okay, I'm already a fan because this is a mid-rare burger. They didn't overcook it, and there is a lot of yumminess between that burger and that bun.
Your face went on, but watch, I wish I was recording this with video, because your face went from analytical to excited as you started to analyze the cut of the burger. Lisa took the first bite, and she turned to the side. She's like, this was not the most ladylike bite in the world.
I know, it's like dripping down my face. But so what is that like an onion chutney or something on the bottom? It's tomato. That is wonderful. It like melts in your mouth. All the flavors kind of combine together. Go ahead.
Now,
what do you think?
That's an adult burger, okay? That's an adult burger. That's not a kid-friendly burger. The cheese is very sharp. There's a tomato chutney there and the spring mix. So definitely an adult burger, but a very high-quality burger, and it's done mid-rare, like I like it. Hard to beat.
That is a tasty burger.
Yeah, it's really good.
So I will confess, when I saw burgers on the menu, I said, all right, well, the burger's on the menu because you need something for somebody. There's no more meat left in that, Lisa. I ate all of the meat out of those. Okay, let's break it down. You have a soft, buttery roll. It's not overly thick, because sometimes you eat a burger and it's more bread than it is burger. This is sort of the perfect ratio of meat to cheese, and that tomato chutney is outstanding. And I'm usually not a spring mix person, but the sweetness of the chutney cuts any of the bitterness of a spring mix. So you get this nice little, like, wonderful flavor profile in your mouth.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the chutney was my favorite part of it. That and the quality of the patty and the fact that they didn't overcook it. That was my favorite part of the burger. It's delicious.
Yeah, it's a really nice patty. The cheese is really sharp, and then it's cut by the sweetness of the tomato chutney. The spring mix is really just there for color, I think. It's not bothering me at all. But the whole thing just melts together really beautifully. And the roll is just sort of soft and
very
fluffy.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is a surprisingly amazing. Again, this whole thing is a bit of a shock, because again, I think even if people do walk by, they're like, oh, this is probably the quick service fish and chips place. All they have is fried food. Because it's been so long since I've been here. I really didn't know what to expect. I would come here.
What do you mean all they have is fried food? Come on, man. If it ain't fried, it ain't food.
I would come here for this burger.
I was just gonna, you took the, like, would you come here just for the burger?
110%. I can see myself craving this burger later and like coming back specifically for it. And it's not the only thing I've loved today. The hog in a box I loved, the first thing they brought out, but this burger is up there for me.
I was going to say, where does this, from the things that we've tasted, where does the burger sit?
Well, for me, the fish and chips were the highlight, and I think the caramelized pork was next. But, I typically, I don't have a very sophisticated palate when it comes to burgers.
But you love meat. Like you are a carnivore. Like you grill at home. You've got like this special grill and all the accoutrements with it.
Oh yeah, I love meat. So what appealed to me about the burger was that they cooked it to perfection. They didn't overcook it. For me, the cheese was a little sharp, but the tomato chutney was excellent. And I like that.
It almost...
Here, hold this so I can take another bite.
It almost reminds me of like the kind of taste that you're going for when you eat a really good charcuterie.
Yes.
When you're trying to get the combination of like the sharp cheese and the sweetness. Yeah, it tastes like a burger version of a charcuterie board with like the sharp cheese and the sweetness of the...
I think that is outstanding.
It's
my second bite was even better than the first.
Yeah, top 3 dishes for me for sure. It's up there.
And you're right. It's got Dublin or cheese. Just the burger itself, it's the quality of the meat. And to your point, Kenneth, it's juicy. Like you can see that the color of the bun starts to get slightly saturated from the fat of the burger. That for me is sort of the perfect. Lisa, you could take your eyes off it and actually eat it. There's still more left. It's okay.
So they have another burger, the whiskey barbecue burger, which you probably referred to earlier while I was gumming down all the fish and chips while you weren't looking. But it also has the Dubliner cheese on it and also comes with chips. So they have multiple burgers here.
And I like the fact that everything comes with chips because I could sit here and snack on the chips just all day.
Yeah, the fries, the chips are chef's kiss. Everything is... And I'm sitting here sipping this whiskey drink.
And you're not even a whiskey
I'm not a whiskey drink. I'm sitting... It's in front of me, and I keep picking it up and taking sips of it. It's perfect for today because it's that cool fall weather for the first time this season. But, I can't believe I'm sitting here sipping on a whiskey drink.
Right, because there are some whiskey drinks that, it affects the palate. Like, it's a hit of whiskey. You sort of get that sharp alcohol taste, and none of these have that to it. Even this blueberry lemonade, and again, parents, this is not for kids. Like, it might not taste that way, but there's absolutely alcohol in it. But it's a very light, very refreshing drink. And I have to tell you, we keep talking about how it's burgers and fried food. I don't feel we've eaten a lot. We're eating a lot. Nothing feels heavy to me. Like, the pork is heavy just sort of by virtue of what it is. But with even all this fried food, I don't have that feeling like after you eat a lot of fried foods, you're like, I shouldn't have eaten all that. I feel like I should be eating more, not less.
Yeah, I think I should eat more.
This is why we bring Kenneth. Look how happy he is.
He does look so joyful right now. Yeah, no, I don't feel particularly heavy either. It's all balanced really nicely. There's sweet offsetting the fried, offsetting the garlic, and then the bread on the burger, for example, is just a super soft brioche bun that's just sort of soaking everything up. And these drinks are really nice. The blueberry lemonade has fresh blueberries in it and fresh mint leaves. And then the whiskey drink has a sprig of rosemary and lemon. Yeah, everything's lovely.
So I'm trying to figure out the order I would put them in. I have recency bias. I know I do, from the burger. But we really, really liked the hog in the box at the beginning. So I would maybe put that as number 1. I think you're right, Kenneth. I think I was going to say the fish and chips, but I like the shrimp so much. Maybe the combo is the way to go. And almost the burger's tied for second as opposed to... It's insulting to call it third.
Yeah, I agree. That is a great burger. It is insulting. But for me, the fish and chips was the highlight. If I were to come back, that's what I would order.
And you've lived overseas before, so you've had fish and chips, where it comes from, so you know a good fish and chips. You are not just a Gordon's fish sticks.
Everybody's got their favorite shop in London that they go to, but I would put this up against any I had. It was really good.
I think that fish with the malt vinegar on the fish and the chips, maybe not as much salt as Kenneth puts on top, but a little sprinkling of salt too. Maybe that is number. I don't know.
Yeah, it just almost depends what you're in the mood for when you come. Like the hog in a box is sort of a little bit of everything, and it's the vibe of the place, and for all the reasons, I think it's number one for me. But like, maybe it's strange to come here for a burger when there's other great burgers on property. But I would put that up against anything else that I've had, like burger-wise, on property.
So I think the key, the trick, is to come here with friends or family, so you can get, and everything here is shareable. Like everything here, and I think that's the way to do it. You get two, and then you share it amongst, friends or family, and then Kenneth orders whatever Kenneth's going to order because he doesn't share very well. So.
Yeah, and then if you want a drink, you can do the same thing with your drinks in the evening. Like get a few happy hour things to try and share them amongst the adults in your group as well. Just be careful because they are. They don't seem like they have alcohol in them.
And again, you come during a happy hour where a lot of these drinks are $10. Like Kenny, you mentioned before, this is a great value. Like I think this is a really, really good value, like wonderful environment. And, we talked about it being a hidden gem. It absolutely is.
Yeah. What is this word you guys keep using? Share?
See, it's an Irish word. It's
Oreo cheesecake. The strawberry vanilla cheesecake, a gluten-free pineapple upside-down cake, and a gluten-free lemon meringue drizzle cake.
Wow. Oh, look at that. Hey now. Which is your favorite, Solomon? I'm sure you've tried them all.
I eat them daily. But the pineapple upside-down cake or the Oreo cheesecake.
I coming from the Northeast, as many of us are, a good cheesecake is super important and hard to find in Florida sometimes.
True, but we make it here daily from scratch. So
all the desserts made in-house scratch?
Yes, sir.
We should have paced ourselves better. If we would have known that 4 of the desserts are coming out. These look great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
First thought, just from a visual perspective, right? We eat with our eyes first.
My first thoughts that came to mind were some very eloquent words by a man named Butthead, and those words were,
I'm like, where is he going? How much whiskey has he?
These are huge and beautiful. The lemon looks like something out of a fairy tale. I'm very excited for the gluten-free pineapple upside down because I love pineapple upside down cake. So I'll be curious to see. I think you should go to Kenneth because he looks impressed.
Very good. Very good. And it's got sprinkles on it. The strawberry cheesecake does.
So, I'm going to say that I'm not a sweets guy.
It has a really nice crust, too.
Yeah, this is...
All right, so we're going with strawberry first.
Yeah.
It looks like the healthiest. Oh, that is like sort of a nice little graham cracker crust on the bottom.
Something. I don't know if it's graham cracker. It's delicious.
That's a good piece of cheesecake. I haven't had any of the strawberry yet, but...
So, it's dense, and it's not overly... Like Kenneth, it's dense and not overly sweet. But it's just, like, other than the strawberries and a little bit of... It's just a very nice, plain, unadulterated cheesecake.
Yeah, it's a very simple... It doesn't have, like, strawberry jelly or anything all over it. It's just a couple slices of fresh strawberry on top. Just a nice cheesecake, and it's got a beautiful crust on the bottom.
It is a good cheesecake.
Let's go from... All right.
Cheesecake to...
You look at the lemon. I'm following your eyes.
He was excited about
the pineapple? All right, get into the pineapple. And you don't have to be gluten-free to enjoy gluten-free, which is something that I've learned over the last few years. I think some people think they see gluten-free and they think it's for folks who cannot or do not want to have gluten. And a lot of times, if you don't say it, you would never know the difference.
I would not know this is gluten-free. I wouldn't know it.
Oh, that's a nice little light sweetness from that pineapple.
Yeah, I would never in 1,000 years guess that this was gluten-free. It's like, it's moist, and like the pineapple like is just running through the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's...
So that's it. It's because sometimes gluten-free can be a little crumbly and almost sort of like a chalky consistency. And I think you're right, because of that seepage of the pineapple into it. It's not overly dense, and it is like super moist. That's just like a nice, simple, clean dessert.
Agreed. Yeah, I think if it is crumbly, you wouldn't know it because it's just so moist, and that pineapple syrup, I guess is what I'd call it, is a delicious flavor.
I'm laughing to myself because this is. You ever see Throw Mama from the Train? The night was moist. The cake was moist.
And again, it's not overly sweet. I mean, it's sweet, obviously, but it's not like bitingly, like cuttingly sweet. It's got like a nice tart from the pineapple, and again, it's not dry. It's crumbly, like in a good way underneath. Yeah, this is a winner again for me.
Now, what is this one?
This is the lemon. It's a lemon meringue cake, I believe.
It's not gluten-free, though.
I don't.
No, it looks a
think
lot
so?
like this other cake, but let's have a taste it.
Oh. That's not what I was expecting.
Me either.
I expected something, again, a lot more dense. Well, that lemon's like... Again, it's that balance of... It's wonderfully tart. Like, it's very lemony. It's very tarty. There's a lot of tartness to lemon. And I'm not like a big... I'm not a marshmallow guy. Let me get a little bit of this.
Across the board, they just balance flavors really well here. Like whether it's, the cheese and the sweet onion relish on a burger, or tomato relish on a burger, or this with the tartness of the lemon, or tartness of the pineapple against the sweetness. Again, this is a winner for me. Like the meringue is nice and light on top and gives a little bit of sweetness to and the lemon, like you said, is very tart. It's like a lemon curd. It's good.
Yeah. It's very different in terms of like you said, the way more tart than it is sweet, but it's also got a really nice sort of finish on my palate. Like after my bite, like I again, sort of peeking in. You don't want to get into my head, but if you did, when I'm like eating a meal, I try and start thinking about what I want that last bite to be. So I know when I walk away, this is going to be the last thing that I taste. That's a nice way to sort of end the meal, but we still have one more to go.
Oreo cheesecake. Now, what is this? Is this caramel?
It looks like it's a caramel drizzle on top.
It's got like a chocolate frosting. Is that what that is? Like,
oh yeah. Oh, it's a nice little. Oh, it's a nice rich dark chocolate frosting on top. Oh, hey now.
It's very good. If you're a chocolate person, this is the one for you. I might have been preferred. It's just personal preference. Like this is a really nice. It's heavy and dense, but not quite as much as it looks. And one thing we haven't mentioned: these are huge servings. Like these are massive desserts. Like 3 people could share one of these.
And just what's the price? What's the price
crust on this? Is Oreos too. It's good.
That is really good. I'm trying to decide.
I almost don't think of it as chocolate as much as it is an Oreo, because the crust is Oreos, but you do have this rich chocolate, dark chocolate frosting.
Again, it goes back to your personal preference, because that, like the cheesecake stands on its own. The cheesecake is just really good on its own. Again, not being overly. That too is like a nice finish to the meal too, with that little bit of darker chocolate. If you had to come here and pick one, what do you think you'd pick?
It always just depends what I'm in the mood for. I really, really liked the pineapple upside down, and I loved the lemon. The strawberry cheesecake is wonderful too, just because the cheesecake kind of stands on its own. It doesn't need anything. Maybe the lemon would be my favorite, but it just depends on what I was in the mood for.
I think I would go for the strawberry cheesecake. Yeah. I love the crust. Everything about it was great.
like my children, I love them all. But, deep down, there's one that we have that's a favorite. We just don't say it out. I'm surprised to say I might go for the Oreo because, let me explain, because I get the really, really good cheesecake, but if I want that little bit of added sweetness from the chocolate and the sort of that dark chocolate, like almost like a ganache on top, I have that option too, because it's not sort of blanketed all over the cheesecake.
I may go along with you on the last bite of the meal thing. I think I'm going to eat that Oreo right off the top, and that's going to be the last bite I have.
Yeah, I think that's a nice, finishing bite. And there he is. Yeah. Now I want to just sort of sit back and just, sip our drinks and just watch. I can't even say watch the world go by because it's not a heavily trafficked area. The sun is just starting to peek out through the crowd, the crowds, and I swear I've only had a couple of sips of the whiskey drink. Give me your sort of final thoughts and perspectives.
I love the fact that I've lived here since 2017, and I continue to find spots that excite me that I've never been to or enjoyed before. It's there's always another door to open here that's full of surprises, and this has been far and away just the best surprise. I could come here and get the hog in a box and maybe a drink to sit with and share with somebody and a sweet and just have a delightful time. And you do have, it's not deserted over here. You do have a nice trafficked spot here just to kind of sit and people watch and enjoy, and the sun's just starting to peek out. So yeah, I'm looking forward to coming back here.
Yeah, I think in many respects this would be my first choice for counter service here.
Oh.
And mainly it has to do with the crowds as well as the quality of food. The quality of food over at Polite Pig is amazing. But like Lisa said, at dinner time, there's going to be a line down the side of the restaurant all the way to the bathroom down there under the escalators. So to me, this is just something you can do very quickly if you want to, or you can sit outside and really enjoy yourself with a couple of drinks. But either way, you're going to get fantastic, high-quality food at a really good price. And by the way, this is, to me, a lot cheaper than Polite Pig, too, especially if I'm here with kids.
So, I don't know why everybody online at D23 was talking about and hoping for and wishing for a fifth theme park. Disney Springs is the fifth park. It is. As a local, I spend more time here than I do in any of the parks, and that's not an exaggeration. I think from a food perspective, this is evidence of the fact that there are so many incredible food options down here, many of which are hiding in plain sight. Like Cookes of Dublin, this is not a new restaurant. This has been here for years. How many of us who are local who have never been here, how many of you listening at home or in the car or walking the dog or on that treadmill thing have never been to Cookes of Dublin? Because I think it's either we sort of just walk right by it or don't even realize it's here, or more importantly, you don't realize what is inside. Ken, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think it is not just great flavors, but incredible value. Especially, again, if you bring in the family down, you want really good food at a great price that you don't have to worry about booking 6 months in advance or being able to walk up to on a Saturday. You can sit outside, you can have a delicious, comfortable meal, you can get a cocktail next door if that's your thing. Cookes really sort of ticks all of the different boxes. And as locals, I think you're right. I think it's, how did we not realize this is here? This is a place I need to come back to. And because the menu is so large, it's not like they're just known for the one thing. There's a lot of different things that we can come back for again and again.
Yeah, I'm just excited to know this is here. It's also a lot less of a haul from the Orange Garage, where I like to park, than it is than Polite Pig, where you have to either park in Lime or be ready for a very, very long walk to the other end of the universe. And the sun is just starting to peek out. There's people walking by. I can imagine we've all been here in the evenings when there's sort of music playing next door at Raglan or around the corner near Boathouse, and just the vibe here you get a nice breeze. This is, I feel like we've discovered like lost treasure that's been hidden in plain sight.
Well, and look, I love the fact, look, Raglan has always delivered. I've been a fan of Raglan since it first opened because there's great food inside. Like, I love live entertainment. They have the Hooli every year. They have St. Paddy's Day every year. But there's multiple different experiences in this single location, right? You can sit inside and enjoy the live music. You can sit outside where there's a different live band performing at night. They're about to open a secondary outdoor seating area. You've got Cookes of Dublin here. You've got the hole-in-the-wall bar next door. So whatever your thing is, whatever type of experience that you want to have, you can sort of pick and choose whatever you want depending on the type of afternoon or evening. Or don't forget, too, they also have brunch on weekends, on Saturdays and Sundays, sometimes on Mondays if it's a holiday weekend. They have a wonderful, maybe we need to come back and try brunch, too. I never met a brunch that I didn't like. But this, like I said earlier, this is a big part of the reason why I think Disney Springs is such a great dining destination. And I think Raglan Road, like I said, offers you like a plethora of different choices for whatever you want to eat, or, in many cases, whatever you want to drink at night as well.
Absolutely. And I'm so looking forward to, we've had a really hot, humid summer, and we've had 2 hurricanes. I am so looking forward to this kind of weather that we're having today, and coming to Disney Springs this fall and going into what we call winter down here, which is really paradise. Don't tell anyone. But I know that Cookes is going to be part of that experience for me now that I know it's here.
Right, and I know what's going to happen, right? Because the three of us, and like we're in a group chat, in about a week or so, Kenneth is going to post a picture from like 11:30 on a Tuesday afternoon, like, oh, just finished eating at Cookes of Dublin. Like, we don't get the phone call ahead of time, but he's going to come back and do it himself.
Yeah, this is such great timing because, like Kenneth said, and we were talking about before, we're post 2 hurricanes. The weather is like just starting to break. They said, I heard on the news, today is the very first day since last March that the high is only in the 70s. So the weather is just breaking, like it's crisp and cool overnight. I was a little chilly when I went out for my run this morning, which is the first time that's happened in a very long time. So perfect timing to like get the scoop on a meal like this.
Yeah, you know how I tell when the weather has broken here? It's always hot, but when the wind is not hot anymore, then the weather has changed. So,
and it doesn't feel like the Sahara outside, right? Right, well, enjoy this week and a half that you have a fall on. It's going to be summertime again. Listen, this has been incredible. A true, wonderful surprise. I really didn't know what to expect, and it exceeded expectations. I would love to know from you, who's sitting at this virtual table with us, one, have you ever been to Cookes of Dublin before? If so, what do you think? And if not, does this now put Cookes on your radar? And if so, what are you looking to try? What are you excited to try? And when you do, please make sure you share a photo or call the voicemail and let me know what you think. Huge thanks again to Cookes of Dublin for an amazing experience today. And I will be back. I don't know what I'm going to order yet because I'm torn between all the things that I seem to have fallen in love with already this morning. And Kenneth Johnson from I Still Don't Have a Website.org, and Lisa Denota-Glasser from The Castle Run and Thousand Circles. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. This was delightful. A very, very delightful surprise.
Yes, thank you, Lou, for including me, and thanks to Cookes of Dublin. This was amazing, and I know I'll be back.
Be back. We've got like 11 bags of left. Look, there's literally the 4th chair is full of bags of leftover food.
Let's just not leave. I think we could stay here till dinner. We've got dinner right here. Get a couple of whiskey sours. We're good.
I hope you enjoyed our sampling of just some of the items at Cookes of Dublin. I'd love to know from you if you've ever eaten there before, if it is now on your radar. The best way to let me know is by joining the community conversation over in the WDW Radio Clubhouse on Facebook at wdwradio.com/clubhouse. You can also let me know by calling the voicemail at 407-900-931, and I will play it on the air. And if you're really hungry and want to come down and visit Cookes of Dublin and or Raglan Road, or if you want to go to Dublin in Ireland itself, please be sure and visit my friends over at mousefantravel.com. No matter where you want to go, whether it is a Disney destination or anywhere on this big, blue, beautiful world of ours, they are my go-to, trusted, and recommended partner for more than 17 years. Because it's who I used, it's who I trust for my family, and that's exactly what you are. It's part of my extended family. They handle all the planning so you can focus on the memories, or in my case, the food. They offer free vacation planning services and will give you a free, no obligation quote by visiting mousefantravel.com and tell them Lou sent you. I mean, it won't do anything different, but tell them Lou sent you anyway. If you like the show, and I hope that you do, please share the show, tell a friend, rate and review the show over on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And if there's ever any way that I can help you, please visit LouMongello.com. You can find out some of the other things I'm working on there. Please don't forget to connect with me on social. I am at Lou Mongello on Instagram and Facebook, a little bit on LinkedIn as well. Again, I'll be sharing a lot from New York Comic Con this weekend and from the Disney Magic, Castaway Key, Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point, and probably every dining location on board. And finally, most importantly, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love and appreciate you. None of this is possible without you. And I've been able to and blessed to do this for more than 20 years, thanks to you, and not a day goes by that I am not very aware of the fact that I am receiving a gift from you by you sharing your time and your attention and your love and your friendship and support. And if there's ever anything that I can do to give back to you, if you have an idea to make the show or the community better, please reach out to me and let me know. But in the meantime, remember to be kind, be safe, be smart, choose the good, and be the good for others. Have an amazing day and an even better tomorrow. So until next time, thanks again. See ya.
Lou, oh my gosh, I love listening to your show when I'm driving to work in Logan, West Virginia. Anyways, I have to agree, Pinocchio is probably the scariest movie that Disney ever put out. I mean, Monstro the Whale, and then Stromboli gets really nasty. But boy, that scene with Lampy, it's bone-chilling, and it haunts me when I think about it, and I knew you were going to go there. But boy, if you go for those live action, God bless you, Something Wicked This Way Comes is one that people don't know much about, but that's a creepy movie. And of course, in live action, when Jim Hawkins is up in the crow's nest, and that pirate's coming up for him, slowly creeping up the mast, that's pretty creepy too. But anyway, love your show. Thanks so much for what you do. Alan Young here, signing off. Have a magical day.
Hey Lou, it's Patrice Roberti from Metro Boston. It is Wednesday afternoon, and your My 5 Scariest Disney Animated Movie Moments was very good. And the reason I called is because I think your idea with the My 5 is really good. I hope you're getting a lot of good feedback on that from people. It's a nice new addition to what I've been enjoying for these past 2.5-ish years. And I meant what I said. I hope that you do have Daniel Roberts on to talk about his book, because I have it here on my laptop, his page, and it says his book, Ponder, I guess, is a darkly comic tale of love and loss in Walt Disney World at the turn of the millennium. Come on, this is a book I want to hear more about, a book I would like to read. So I hope you have him on to talk about his book and other Disney works of fiction. Take care. Bye. Hey Lou, it's me, Patrice again, and Daniel Roberts, I just looked on Amazon, has some amazing reviews here on Amazon. It says it's this delightfully unexpected and original novel. Someone else says, a funny and heartfelt story about friendship, love, and life surprises. I just finished this book and loved every minute of it, said another one. Please have him on, and please make him blush by reading these reviews to him. Take care. Bye.